Sometimes I Get It Right by Mark Carver. As I walk around a town centre, I wonder what it would be like to touch someone, to hold someone, preferably a woman, just to be close to something. After a while, I start to imagine I am touching the woman who is walking in front of me. I slowly walk behind her, imagining I have my hands around her. She walks one way, then another. She must feel the touch from inside my head. She stops and lets me pass, then walks off in the other direction. That was April is Poetry Month in Limerick.
Oh.
This is what I sent you yesterday.
Yeah, I didn't read it, yeah.
Did you not?
No.
A very strange poem. And it's
What do you think
framed.
he's getting attached? Or what's he trying to get across?
He's lonely and he wants a woman and he's imagining he can touch the one in front of him.
But is it all going on in his head?
Yeah. Yeah. Have you ever had an imaginary girlfriend?
No.
No.
Did have an imaginary friend who was growing up Shadow.
Shadow?
Looking back on it, I always think, oh, isn't that interesting?
Did you watch
Shadow?
Bear in the Big Blue House when you were younger?
I did, actually.
There was a shadow on that. Was Shadow an imaginary character?
Can't remember. I just love Bear in the Big Blue House, but I can't remember anything about it.
There was Bear in the Big Blue House.
It's a great tune. Can we sing it?
Yeah, go on. I don't know it though. You start it and I'll get it.
In the big blue house. Da, da, da.
Yeah, no, it's a classic. So there was there was Bear. He was just
Bear.
What was he called? Bear.
Yeah.
And then there was Blue the
I
Mask.
asked Ashton this recently. Was Bear male or female?
Bear was male.
Male, okay.
100%. No way Bear was female. Why was she trying to claim him as their
No,
own?
I was no.
Big Blue House. I'm going to Google it now.
Yes, do.
So there was.
Did you have an imaginary
nine
friend
seasons.
so that you don't?
Yeah, I think I did. I think his name was Shadow as well, or it could have been Eddie. I'm not sure.
Eddie
Shadow.
the Lights.
Eddie the Lights. Yeah. Eddie the Lights. So the characters in Bear in the Big Blue House, there was Luna the Moon.
Oh yes,
Remember, he used to stand on the balcony and talk to the moon.
yeah. Ashton thought she was the moon.
Ashton thought she was the moon.
Yeah, when she was watching Bear in the Big Blue House.
How?
That was me. I don't know. Yeah.
More on this. We'll have to get her on the podcast. Bring on the moon. Hey, bring on. Ray the Sun. Now we had Ojo, who was an orange bear who played the guitar.
Oh.
There was Doc Hogg. Do you remember Doc Hogg? No?
I don't know.
Rita Mouse.
Right.
Jake the dog. I thought there was a mouse called Blue in it. There was. Benny the Blue. This is Blue, is it? Blue. Bear in the Big Blue House. Okay, Michael.
Oh, I'm going with this now. I'm still here looking at it. There's a videotape of Bear in the Big Blue House. Imagine having that on tape. There were purple otters in it. Did you?
Yeah, I remember them.
Do you?
Yeah.
All right. There you go.
What did they do?
What did they do?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
What was the arc of the story of Bear in the Big Blue House?
Paper Tuesdays bringing you all the big questions.
Where was the conflict? What happened?
Yeah.
What?
Biggie in the Middle Island.
What?
Sorry, I mumbled my words.
Biggie in the Middle Island.
Yes. Now, Mark, I wanted to ask you. You're now a townie.
Yes, I am.
You like it or not?
I am. I'm a townie, full blown. We heard there was a noise in town the other night. Loud noise. Do you know
What
what
was
it was?
the noise?
What was the noise? I think it
What
was
was the noise?
fireworks.
Was it fireworks?
It was fireworks.
What was the noise?
I am fucking sick of Claire's buy and sell. I am so fucking sick of it. What is that group for? Is anyone buying or selling anything on it anymore? No. Such a load of shite. Is anyone living off the grid? She posts on a Facebook group. Is anyone here in this buy and sell group living off the grid? Another person posted in it. I actually think this was the same person who posted that one. Is there anyone who can help me to sell things? I'm no good at it. On a buy and sell group, she is trying to buy someone to sell things for.
Yeah.
And then we had, of course, the firework.
Indeed.
There was
Caused great
70-something comments on this.
Yeah.
And I established within 2 comments that there was a firework went off. A single firework. Yet 76 comments followed it.
I loved it. There was one comment, you know, when something is going for sale or something is interested in it, they go F. And there was F.
Following. F stands for following.
Oh,
Following
alright,
the
so
story.
they keep
More on this as it comes.
the cartoon just can't compete with this.
They
This is
really
just-
can't.
No.
Like, what has it become? How many members has Claire's Buy and Sell? Can
That's
we
a
do some
great
research?
question. Let's do some research.
market research on this.
Yeah. Do we blame it on when Elaine joined, Claire?
It was Claire's Buy and Sell, wasn't it?
yeah.
Claire and Elaine.
How many people do you think are in this group?
2,048.
Okay, that's a fair one now. Like that's like Gorey is a town with what?
10,000.
10,000, yeah. 9.2 thousand people. 9,000.
Holy shit.
Yeah, good for
Here is my issue. Right?
Here's your
Here's
issue.
where I
Yes,
take
yeah,
issue
yeah,
with
yeah.
Claire's Buy and Sell.
Throw
I
the-
posted a plate of ham for sale last year. And they took it down.
Yeah.
They don't take down people asking people to sell things for them. Or is anyone living off the grid?
Yeah.
And then there's other people asking, like, people go on to it looking for, like, mental health advice. Is there anywhere I can go? I'm feeling sad. Or does anyone want to go for a coffee? I'm feeling lonely.
Yeah.
Like, in all fairness, okay, fair enough. But this isn't the place. We have avenues for that.
Avenues.
We don't go on to Claire's Buy and Sell for that. I don't go on to Done Deal trying to buy a friend.
Yeah. But what should we do, Mark? What I think
Cancel Claire's Buy and Sell. We need what's it called? Controversy. We need a scandal. We need a pedophile ring. We need to expose. There's something underneath the layers of Claire's Buy and Sell. We need a private investigator to investigate what's going on with these people.
What if we scale it back a bit? What if we appointed a referee that, like, you would then, like, have a notebook and you say, okay, Elaine, that's it now. You've done 3 silly posts in a week.
Yeah, and Eddie O'Sullivan gives her a yellow card.
Yeah.
No. You've done it 4 times now. That's 4 posts this week, and you weren't buying or selling anything. I don't care.
Yes. Mark, speaking of sport, I went to Munster versus Toulouse yesterday.
Yes.
Yes, yeah. And I wore a Leinster jersey. And I thought this was a good idea at the time, but there was this bios in front of us, and I was only there, I'd say, 5 minutes when they go, hey, you! Why are you wearing a Leinster jersey? What are you doing? What are you doing? Pull down that. I see you trying to hide that. Pull that down. Then 10 minutes later, one of his friends would go, what are you doing here? Oh my God. And so I couldn't really explain. I couldn't give a succinct sentence to explain, hi there. I went to, I played underage rugby for Gorey, but I have no understanding of where Leinster stands in this whole Champions Cup ordeal. And yes, I'm just here because it's a spectacle and I'd like to see you win. But so I just kept going, oh, I don't know. Oh, sure, look,
My man dressed me.
sure, listen. But I think I started annoying because around half an hour later they asked, hey, you Leinster man, when are Leinster playing? And I said, I haven't a clue.
Okay. And you explained to me before, but if you want to explain to the listeners your reasoning for wearing the
Oh, yes, yeah. I was going to a rugby match and I thought that I should wear a rugby jersey to show that I'm one of the boyos, but no, that didn't really work to plan. But I tried on my Lions jersey. It was too big, it was like a dress on me. And I know oversized clothing is all the rage now, but I said, no. And the Ireland jersey was too big as well, so the only one that fit was my Leinster jersey. So there you go.
They're arch rivals.
Arch rivals, yeah.
That
I
is-
don't know. And then I wanted to point out the fallacy that, like, you've Joey Carberry playing there, and I believe he played for Leinster once upon a time.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've no problem with him now that he wears red. He wants to wear blue. I wear blue now.
Yeah. You should go to a Celtic match and wear a Rangers jersey.
Soccer.
Yeah, soccer. I don't know where you stand.
I want you to do it. Yes, indeed. But this is where. But it was all a good jest, Mark. And something that is not in good jest at the moment is Johnny Depp and Amber Heard.
Ooh, dum bum bam. I started watching Seinfeld last night. Sorry, no.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I'm so happy.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Seinfeld is
It's class.
terrific.
It's class.
Dum 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 dum
Yeah,
dum dum.
that music reminded me of it.
And what about Kramer?
Oh,
What about Kramer?
I
He
actually-
lives a life.
I've only watched the first episode.
Okay, keep
So I've
watching.
only got Kramer is the his friend.
He's the lad that I don't know if we can do this, but like he will always.
Your microphone, Michael. Your microphone.
One second. I'm just going to pretend I'm Kramer, okay?
Okay. Yes, yeah. He's already done that.
He's already done. He will do that every episode,
Yeah.
and you will laugh every time because that's Kramer. Is my microphone still? Sorry. Yes, yeah.
He's cancelled, isn't he?
Is he? What did he do?
He done stand up, and he went off the fucking rails on stage one night, and he was like shouting the N-word up at the crowd in the stage. I think he was on cocaine. I think he had like cocaine problems.
Oh.
And he lost it that night and he kind of got cancelled ever since.
Oh.
But Seinfeld's very good. I didn't know the premise going into it at all. He actually does stand up. He is Jerry Seinfeld. Like,
Yeah.
the stand up bits in it are very good as well.
Yeah.
One,
What I love about it is nothing happens in it.
there's no story.
No. It's just capturing life, like, or whatever.
Yeah. Like there was, he had a woman come in from out of town, and she was engaged. That was the start. That was the start of the story. Anyway, and then he's like up on stage talking about that night, bits about women or whatever. It's very good.
Jerry's father is a bit of you now. He doesn't give a flying
in the show.
Yeah.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, in the show only. Yeah. Apparently Michael Richards, the Seinfeld star Kramer, destroyed his career in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's something going. So there you go.
I don't think we can play it on the podcast.
No, I don't think we will. No. But he doesn't look as well as
it's
when
on YouTube. You can look it up. You can see it on YouTube.
Interesting. I didn't know that. But you were going to say that in context of Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Why?
Oh, just because we were going to do.
Oh, right.
Johnny Depp and Amber Heard are having a frank exchange of views. They're not getting on well at the minute. A bit of a kerfuffle. Just, two strong personalities.
Yeah,
clashing, coming together and shitting in each other's beds.
Yeah. Amber Heard.
She's shat in his bed. Imagine that, like, I didn't even think women shat.
What did you think?
Breeden doesn't poo.
No,
she's a lady.
Better ask Babe Vinci if she poos.
Yeah, speaking of breed and breed,
poos.
Because she's apparently women can poo on the baby when it's born.
Oh.
Yeah, so if she does that, we're giving it back and getting a different one. Me and Breed are together 1 year today.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary, thank you very much. 1 year together, 9 months pregnant, and living together for 4 days. The Catholic way. So yeah, that's just life. That's the way things happen.
The Catholic way.
Let's
sit with that now. Does that make you feel guilty?
No, not at all.
Okay, well, that's good. That's all. There shouldn't be guilt. There shouldn't be shame.
There's no big guilt.
Let there be no guilt.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Thank you.
Now,
Thank you, Father. 3 Hail Marys.
But what are you learning? Like I know you lived alone in Australia, but now you're living alone in a place where you're living in beside someone else's back garden, and you can see everything that goes on in their life. And the lights are always on in the town. They will never go off.
Yeah.
These are big differences for you, the Castletonian.
Yeah. Traffic is a big one. Was I talking about that? Traffic drives me fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Like Esmond Street is cat. Always trying to go that way. And then the roundabout at the petrol or the train station. Because you're going up towards Duns. It's a write-off. But other than that, no, it's fine. I like it. So far, so good. It's, I suppose, I'm doing all my growing up in this next month. So, like, I've moved in with someone for the first time. I've lived outside of home, but, like, never as, a couple have I lived full time with someone. So, like, you think you do live with someone when, like, say, the arrangement where, you're both staying in each other's parents' house or whatever. But still, you're not looking after things like washing up and clothes and fucking Hoover and shit like that. So that becomes a whole other thing as well. But it's so far so good. Like, it's all going well. But yeah, so that's growing up in that sense of it. Then there's obviously the baby is coming in 3 weeks. So then I've gone from kind of like living with my parents to my own family, own home straight away, which is going better than I expected. So that's a plus.
In every action you do, you have to be patient at the moment. How have you found that?
In what regard? What?
Well, like, you've been living together with your girlfriend, the mother of your child, for 4 days. Like, there's no time for a little tiff. There's no time for. I think you have to be more patient. Then there's no warm up act for patience, and the virtues that you describe in like stoicism. You have to apply them now in your current life. The big change that has happened in the last few days, and the change that is coming in the next month.
Yeah, it's not hard though. Brie is doing very good. Like, she's very easy to live with, very easy to get on with. So blessed in that regard. Like, she's very patient and very understanding of like the fact that I'm here now on our anniversary and then going to play a match after that, and like she's just very, very understanding and lets me do the things I need to do to be me. So I'm very lucky in that sense. She isn't Amber Heard. She doesn't shit in my bed. She hasn't yet shat in my bed.
Yeah, touch wood.
Touch wood. Amber Heard was also doing cocaine allegedly in the courtroom. Did you see that?
Was she though?
I don't think so.
I think she was just looking for a photo.
Yeah, but
So-
the way she shoved the thing up her nose and then went like that. Do you see it, Shane?
Yeah, I've seen it. I don't know.
What do you think, Shane?
Oh, I don't think.
It could be, but it's also like highly unlikely.
I don't
No,
think.
I think she pauses for the photo.
Yeah.
It's like to give the photographers a chance to see her grieving on the stand, you know, and then move, you know.
Yeah. I don't see how someone could be that kind of brave, stupid, and like they know it's such a high profile case. Everybody's watching it. The camera is on you. It's like, oh yes, I can just take some cocaine now and everything will be okay.
Yeah.
That's it.
But see, this is the thing. I had never heard of Amber Heard, but now I have heard of Amber Heard because of this trial. So is it a publicity thing?
Yeah, I don't know. But the whole, I was looking on YouTube there, and like I wasn't going to go too far in it last night because it's just, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
You'd wonder sometimes why it's everywhere. Like why?
Yeah.
Like
Why? Who cares? Who cares?
Like it's like it's a cycle. It's Henry and Meghan, and then or Harry and Meghan, not Henry. Sorry,
Henry Hoover.
Henry Hoover going. As he got dirt on Meghan Markle.
Oh.
Dear. But like I love. There's this Reddit thread which I find interesting. Too Afraid to Ask is the Reddit thread. It has 1.6 million people in it.
Right.
And one of them is, why is everyone on Reddit convinced that Amber Heard is lying and Johnny Depp is telling the truth? I'm not taking sides, but in the news articles I read, I live in Europe, they make Depp look very guilty. And I was wondering what the media here is leaving out. I thought that was interesting because in the early days, sure, it looked like, no, there's a woman has come forward and this other fella is going to be guilty. But it doesn't seem like it's that straightforward in this case.
No. Well, there was a case beforehand, wasn't there? Like Johnny Cash is dead, rest in peace, and Johnny Depp is currently battling Amber Heard. Sorry, I got a text about Cash there.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, so that's why that was it was a
Revenue, look away. Yeah.
first cousin of mine, the Cashes. So we are talking about Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. Fuck, what was I saying?
I don't know, but we're both on coffee today. I'm on box coffee, you're on box coffee as well. Iced is your preference.
I'm on box.
You're on
Box juice. Sorry, I am all over the place today.
You're okay, you're okay.
What was I talking about?
We were talking about Amber Heard and the sides of the story.
The sides of the story, and something about the media.
Media, yes.
Yeah,
how it's
so
painted.
Take it,
And-
take my word for it.
Go off.
No.
But there was a very interesting bit where they had the psychologist for Amber Heard on the stand, and they had her notes. I didn't know that they'd go into such detail, and they had intimate relationships, and they had a list there, and then she had. I bet she didn't think it'd be a big deal at the time, but she had a line down, and then two people here. One of whom was Elon Musk. Shout out to Elon, big
out to
fan of
Elon.
the show. And someone else as well who's famous. And these are two, and the lawyer was trying to say that these were intimate relationships. And apparently at the time, Johnny Depp was kind of saying, Amber, you're seeing someone else or something. But she was saying that these were friends. But yes, it was very...
Oh, so she was intimate with Elon.
Apparently.
That should be the name of his podcast.
Into it. Get into it. Yeah.
I think Amber Heard is lying. That was my Elon Musk impression.
All right. Okay. Well done.
But yeah, so there was something going on there. She is a horrible person, I think.
Amber
From what
Heard?
I've seen. Anyway, what's being
Okay,
painted
there we go.
on Reddit? It paints her as a total narcissist
Right.
and just a bad person. And you see, like Johnny Depp, he's being interviewed by her defense, and basically they're saying things like, "And you poured a mega pint of wine, apparently," and Johnny Depp just goes, "A mega pint." Like, what is a mega pint?
Yeah, it was like I had a large glass of wine, and it was like you sometimes drink whiskey in the mornings or something like that. Isn't every hour happy hour?
Yeah, isn't every...
Yeah, their defense is making a hames of it. Like everything, they're asking Johnny questions, and he starts explaining. It's like objection, hearsay.
Yeah, objection, hearsay.
Objection to everything he's saying. But I found this up when I was going through TikTok like yesterday. I think it was just a random video, and it's intrigued to go on to the comments. And like the first most liked comment, nothing to do with the case. It's just objection, hearsay.
Yeah.
Like 20,000 likes, nothing to do with the case.
Yeah, like everything Johnny Depp says, there's got objection, hearsay after every sentence. And then at one stage, Johnny Depp, he says something, he's like, oh, well, I suppose that's hearsay. And there's another stage where your one is given a talk or something, or a speech, what do we call it, deposition? And she's like, he had a jar of cocaine, a jar. And you'll see Johnny turn to his lawyer and say, a jar of dirt. Because that's like a quote from the Pirates of the Caribbean. He comes out with like a jar. He's like, oh, I've got a jar of dirt. He doesn't give a shit. Like, he's going across very well in all the things that are going across the internet anyway.
Yeah. Apparently, like they did get on well at one stage, like, and like they were kind of like, oh, it's you and me against the world. But now it's kind of all gone the other way.
Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. Well, I suppose they did if they were in a relationship. How long were they together?
I haven't a clue.
He was married to someone else for ages, wasn't he, Johnny Depp?
Yeah, he's had a couple of bigger relationships.
Johnny Depp was a good friend of Hunter S Thompson. Have you ever
Who was he now?
looked into Hunter S Thompson at all? Shane, have you heard of him?
Yeah, this lad you've talked about. They talk about podcasts.
Have I?
His daily routine was like
Yes.
wake up. He's a writer, and there's like wake up, cocaine, whiskey, and
His drugs routine. Remember, he has like timelines.
Oh, right.
The podcast before,
Yeah.
Oh
It's
my
like
gosh.
6:05 a.m. cocaine, then marijuana, whiskey, cocaine,
Right.
then sit down to write at 3 o'clock in the morning. But Johnny Depp organised his funeral, and for his funeral he got his ashes and placed them into a cannon and attached it to a firework and shot the firework out of the cannon, and then the firework exploded and his ashes went off in the air.
Wow.
Yeah. He was a good friend of Hunter S. Thompson. His writing is actually very interesting.
Is
Hunter
it?
S. Thompson invented gonzo journalism, which is where he actually went and lived with like the Hells Angels bike gang and things like this. He went in and made himself part of that organization of like for investigative journalism.
Wow.
He sort of invented that. He was the first one to go and do that and live the life
No
of
way.
what he was investigating. Yeah.
That's mad.
Yeah, but he was a massive drug addict,
Yeah.
Hunter S. Thompson.
Wow. And Johnny Depp and him got on well.
Yeah, they were good friends. But he was a good bit older than Johnny Depp, like.
Was he? Yeah.
Yeah, but he was the same sort of character. Like, no one... It's weird how, like, no one cares that Johnny Depp is, like, this lad who just does drugs and drinks and, like, that's Johnny, like. Let him on. It's fine. And he does... It suits him to do that, like. No one's like, oh, you're an alcoholic or whatever. He's like, oh, he's not alcoholic, but it's fine. Because he gets the work done, I suppose.
Okay. Do you think our society needs to treat more people like Johnny Depp?
No, I think our society needs to treat less people like Johnny Depp.
Okay. Interesting.
No, I don't really care. Sure,
don't
it's
care.
not me.
It's not you?
Yeah,
Who's not you?
I have enough to worry about. I don't give a fuck what other people do.
Right.
Let them on.
on.
Yeah.
Shane, who's guilty?
Amber.
Okay. Right.
Amber is guilty.
Yeah, like it's a defamation case, so it's like the amount of money Johnny's lost because of all of our allegations. So there's like a couple of specific news articles that came out claiming that Johnny Depp is a domestic abuser. He abused Amber Heard and all this, and that's caused him to. There's supposed to be another Pirates of the Caribbean movie that he was supposed to star in. He obviously lost that. That's 20 million he's after losing.
Oh my gosh.
He was sacked from the new World of Harry Potter, like the Crimes of Grindelwald and or Fantastic Beasts. That's what the movie was. He lost his job. Your man what's that Danish lad that's on the Carlsberg ads? That lad.
I know the look of him.
He's after taking Johnny Depp's character in
No way.
so
He was Hannibal Lecter, wasn't he?
yeah, the Hannibal series, which is very good.
Right.
But yeah, he's very good. But yeah, Johnny lost like tens of millions of dollars because of these allegations, which seem to be, like, I'd say there was some domestic abuse on Johnny's side, but she was probably more the aggressor on.
Yeah.
Because there's recordings of her making shit out and said, "Oh, look, Johnny Depp's going to go to the media and say I'm a survivor of domestic abuse. Who's going to believe that?"
Yeah, she admits to hitting him on tape, like
Yeah.
they play it in the court.
Mad, isn't
And
it?
there's also a video, you see a video of her trying to cry for like 3 minutes. She's like telling this story. It's like, and trying to cry, and there's no tears coming out. And like, if you watch it, it was on Reddit, and I read the top comments, and mom was like, watch this without audio, and you'll see how guilty she is. And I watched it back, and like, when you can't just hear the claims she's making, you just watch her facial expressions, body language, it's just clearly a lie. She also, on another one of the comments was, she changes the tense when she's telling this story. So this lad is like a psychologist or something. He goes, when someone is lying, it's not always the case, but to match her body language, it's a good indicator that someone is lying if they change the tense of the story. So she says, he came down the stairs and into the kitchen, and he's hitting me, and he's not stopping, and he's saying these things. So the past tense is true because she's remembering it as past tense. She's making up those lies in the present. So that's why he came down the stairs and he came into the kitchen and he's hitting me. So that's present tense now. So that's being made up at the moment. So that was interesting, I thought.
Very interesting, yeah. Apparently, one of Amber Heard's defense is that she didn't write these editorials at all. But then when she was on the stand, she goes, and all this is about stuff that I wrote or something like that. So in what she said, that she revealed that, like, oh, well, she wrote these things.
I wrote these, yeah.
So, yeah.
In other news,
how many days is this going to go on? It's 20 days or something, is it? Or
it's going on for a long time.
Harder than that, near around 2 weeks, I'd say.
But like, what is the penalty? Like, she's not going to go to jail.
It's like she'll only be fined or sued for loss of earnings or something.
And he'll get that full loss of earnings off her.
I don't know. It's defamation case, so I'd say. I'm not sure what exactly the fine will be in relation to, but it probably is loss of earnings or something.
Yeah. And Fab is going to be done for defamation.
why?
For the inbreds.
Inbreds?
Yeah. I got a big wave off Fab off the pot lane the other day. He waved to every car, so I didn't feel that special.
You have another update?
I have a story about a man called Michel Latito.
Oh, who is Michel?
Michel Latito was a French entertainer born in Grenoble, famous for deliberately consuming indigestible objects. He came to be known as Monsieur Mouth Magnetout. So here are a list of the objects eaten by this man. He has consumed at least 18 bicycles, 15 shopping carts, 7 TV sets, 6 chandeliers, 2 beds, 1 pair of skis, 1 computer, 1 Cessna 150 light aircraft, that's an airplane, 1 waterbed, 500 meters of steel chain. A waterbed? He drank a waterbed, he didn't eat a waterbed. 1 coffin with handles, 1 Guinness award plaque, he ate the award he got, and 45 door hinges. Rhymes with orange. Not
Door
rhymes with
hinges?
orange, door hinge rhymes with orange.
Wow. You've defied poets everywhere.
I have. So yeah, he ate a plane, this man,
Yeah.
Michel Latito.
I wouldn't like him to poop in my bed.
Oh yeah, I wonder what it sounds like if he shits. Is it like clanging off the cistern? Michel Latito, MICHELLOTTIO.
Right. Oh, he did it as a teenager, Mark, and he just started doing it. Publicly began it in 1966. And he had an eating disorder
He ate metal.
known as pica, which is a psychological disorder characterized by an appetite for substances that are largely non-nutritive.
Pregnant women get that.
Oh.
They get cravings for firelighters. They want to eat firelighters and stuff.
Firelighters? Did
Yeah.
Breed want to eat a firelighter?
No, she never got
Thanks
it,
be to
or
God.
hasn't yet anyway.
Right.
But yeah, a lot of people pregnant women will get hungry and have cravings for things like cardboard or firelighters or things like that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, if you want to give that a Google.
I've seen it's on like those TLC programs, like these big American fucking ridiculous ones. I think there's one when she was either eating, you know, styrofoam or something like that.
Yeah.
And there was another one that was like eating the insulation from a house, like you know, the like orangey kind of insulation, like.
Oh, the foam, yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh.
just eat that like.
That's terrible.
Doctors also determined that he had a thick lining in his stomach and intestines which allowed his consumption of sharp metal without suffering injury. He also had digestive juices that were unusually powerful, meaning that he could digest the unusual materials. However, it also meant that soft foods, such as bananas and hard-boiled eggs, made him sick. He couldn't eat a banana, but he could eat an airplane. My gosh, that's incredible. Wow. He drank oil, and he drank. It's between 1959 and 1997. He'd eaten nearly 9 tons of metal.
Jesus Christ.
This man is incredible. If only we could have had him on the podcast.
9 tons of metal to pass through.
And he had no problem passing his unusual diet.
And what did it turn? Did it turn to shit like, or was it metal when it came out? Did he actually absorb nutrients?
Yeah, I do not know.
He definitely wasn't anemic.
No.
Down
Wow.
iron.
I wonder did he ever need motilium?
Motilium.
Yeah, he drank mineral oil and continued to drink water while swallowing this metal bits, and it acted as a lubricant to help the metal slide down his throat. Let's sit with that now. So pica, Mark, you were asking about that there. It's the unusual cravings. I wonder is there anything here? Oh, stressors. It's been linked to mental and emotional disorders, including emotional trauma, maternal deprivation, family issues, parental neglect, pregnancy, and a disorganized family structure. Have you a disorganized family structure? Every Tuesday as well. Bring it back into alignment.
Give him a smile.
Give him a...
Well, I don't think that's pica that.
isn't it? Oh,
pregnant
sorry.
Women have.
You do a little bit of...
Right, pregnant.
Pica is the eating or craving of things that are not food.
Eating weird objects. Oh, so it is pica. Pica during pregnancy. It's the same thing.
Right.
Pica. Craving. Examples.
Now, if you see it in dogs, it can be a sign of immune-mediated hemolytic anemia. Especially if your dog is eating grout, concrete dust and sand. Good to know.
Yeah, so it says here some examples are dirt, clay, rocks, paper, ice, crayons, hair, paint chips. And they're for children. I had a cousin who used to eat sand down at the beach. He'd go down and he'd just eat sand.
And did you see him do this?
I think I might have a couple of times, yeah. But that sand is fine. Still fine.
Fine. Still
Yeah,
fine.
fine.
Passed it fine.
Passed it fine, yeah. Probably hurt a bit to wipe, I'd say.
Yes, indeed. Yes. So Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, what can we learn from this? Maybe don't have public... Try and settle your disputes before they get out in public.
Or violent.
Or violent.
Pick
Don't-
a good partner.
Pick a good
Pick someone who's going to be nice to you. Don't just pick someone who looks good.
Okay. Don't poo in bed.
Don't poo in someone else's bed and blame it on the dog. Like, it's one thing blaming a fart on a dog. But blaming a shite on a dog, that's a whole different thing. And these were little dogs. So the story was like the cleaner found it in the bed. And like she was like, this is no poo from dog. They were little chihuahuas. And she's like, no, chihuahua, no, little poo. Big poo.
My gosh. Yeah. And
Putin has cancer.
it's confirmed.
Confirmed, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So is he going to press the big red button now, seeing as he's dying anyway? He's like, right, I'm going out with a bang.
Wow. That's mad because for months now we've heard like, oh, he looks very bloated.
Yeah.
Is he? And did we discuss it on the podcast how like all the press conferences with the women are all simulated?
No?
Yeah. So apparently he moved his hands. There were these, in the early days of this whole war that now is, well, no, it's still in the news. But interest is touch and go. Yeah.
Johnny Depp never heard has to.
Oh, the world.
Jude needs to shit in someone's bed.
Oh dear. And so there was these press conferences and he had like these women in uniform at them, and like it would be a Sunday and he'd be there and he'd be saying this and that, and there'd be two women over here and they'd be talking to each other and they were all around this table. But apparently it was all a computer simulation. It was just him in a room, and when he moved his hand, then it revealed that it wasn't real life, because he was interrupting what was being
So
said.
it was like a green screen or something?
Yes, now you have it.
What was the reason for that?
Sure, to show that, look, this is the world leader, this is one that's, suave. What's that word?
Suave. Suave. Michael reads more than he talks. Landlord and landlady are needlessly gendered words. Please be more inclusive by using land bastard instead.
My goodness.
The Ireland thread on Reddit is very good.
Yeah.
Oh, we're getting a United Ireland.
Oh, are we?
Hey! All of a sudden now we want the Protestants. Bring them back in. This is jokes, people. I don't mean that. I don't.
Yeah.
And
I
so
hope it
you
happens.
explained to me how this was happening the other night.
Yeah, I tried to, but I don't think I fully understand. What did I say?
So Sinn Féin won the argument, and now
yeah.
they're in charge up in there, and the DUP are out.
Out.
Buffy again, out. I was showing Brie Buffy again last night, and she was not interested at all. I love Buffy again. Yeah, she was like, I'm glad he likes it, but I don't care.
Okay.
He loves it. Ashoosh. Ashoosh. I skip all the ones where it actually shows hurling in it, and did I say this on the podcast or before the podcast? But it's just like, it's him in like a selfie video going mental, and it's just like some old lad looking at him like this in the background, and he's there going, "Drink it in, man," or "To the moon, to the moon."
It's the endings that are the best. And he
Yeah.
could be walking through a field of sheep on a Tuesday just talking about hurling or something, and then...
Oh yeah, and he's like, "And Clare supporters, by God,
By God.
by God."
Yeah. And I used to support Clare. Brian Lohan in the days.
Yeah, back in the Brian Lohan. Brian Lohan was playing. I don't but think that. Or some boys like, I wouldn't think that from the Clare fans. Maybe the Cork fans.
Oh, yes.
And Roy Keane wasn't at the Man United match last night. He was down in Cork watching Cork and Kerry.
No way.
Yeah.
That's not.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So Cork football gives him more hope than Man United at the moment. There's Michael Dwyer with a soccer reference.
Yeah, what happened in the Man United match last night, Michael?
No, I don't know. It was just the Cork football.
No, tell us though.
I haven't a clue.
Did they put the ball in the goal hole?
I watched the Cork Kerry match, so it was very
Did
good.
they?
Cork competed for a good bit of it.
Did they?
45 minutes of it, and then Kerry took over.
A good bit.
A good bit. Yes.
What else is going on in the world, Michael?
Yeah, good question. The handshake, Mark. Brian Cody, Henry Shefflin.
Oh yeah? What's your thoughts?
Let's get
on
into
that?
this now.
A lot of people think, it was just a handshake or whatever. He pulls him back, doesn't he?
He does.
He pulls him back and he doesn't stop. Is he looking at him or is he looking kind of away from him? I don't know if he's making eye contact.
This is it. The Podge Dwyer spotted this with shout out to Podge and Gory Interior Doors.
Yeah.
He spotted that Henry wasn't looking at Brian in the eye.
At all.
He was shaking his hand and he was looking this direction. Yeah. And even when you see the snap of that Master Apprentice photo, you can clearly see how Henry is looking downward or whatever.
Yeah.
So Henry is pulling him back to look him in the eye.
Brian is pulling him back to look.
Sorry, Brian. Yes.
Yeah. But is that a mark? Is Brian trying to be intimidating there, or is he trying to show respect by trying to make eye contact with him when he's shaking his hand? Like, look up at me.
It's a two-way street, isn't it? He wants to show respect, but he also wants the respect. He wants to say, "Look me in the eye, you man."
Yeah. But Henry's looking down, so he's like downwards, which I think is kind of like respect for Brian Cody. Because if he walked up to him and shook him in the hand like that, I think he could be feeling like, I don't want to seem like I'm bigger than this man now, who's given me so much in my career. Now, I don't know either of these men personally.
Wow.
So is that Henry like showing respect? He's like, look, you're still Brian Cody to me by going,
Yeah.
Look, I
He may
met
not
you, but
even-
you're still...
He may not be even consciously doing that, but
Yeah.
subconsciously, this is
Yeah.
the man that lives and breathes this and has dominated hurling management.
Yeah, so it's still... here you go. Do you know, it's not, I'm level with you now.
Equals.
Yeah, he still sees Cody as higher than him. And I think Cody might have been just trying to show him that respect by trying to look him in the eye.
Yeah.
Maybe. But that's not really what is being said at the minute. It's like Cody is like angry or something, but like, I think Cody kind of respects the fact that he was able to beat him. He obviously hates losing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that could be a scenario that could have played out.
See, you don't get this anywhere else. Sunday game, 30 seconds. Oh, Brian, bad man. Henry, good man.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Wow, okay, yes, yeah, I'm very much open to that, yes.
Yeah, like I don't see any animosity there. The two of them fucking worked together for years, achieved a lot together, like, and Cody was obviously higher up the hierarchy.
Yeah.
Someone has just fainted or died upstairs. I came into the house to get my gear bag last night and a cat had pissed in my gear bag.
Here?
Yes.
Oh, that's a sign of get out. Out. Make happen.
The cats can get out. Oh, there he is. That's the man who'll get the cats out. Never mind Henry Shefflin. He told me last night I came in and there was a cat on the counter and he said it was quite lucky I didn't have a hurl on me.
Are there cats inside?
Michael and Eve's cats live here at the minute. Like,
wow. Big change.
Yeah. Mick's not a cat man.
No. Yes,
So we're going to 100 degrees tonight.
Yes.
We went there.
Best of luck. Enjoy that. Yes. I had the halibut, but you'll probably go for a steak.
I'll go for a steak. Yeah, I'll do a steak, man.
I think they do a steak, yes, yeah. And it's just everything is cooked very well. And do enjoy it, Mark Kaplan.
Yeah. I won't be going to a certain restaurant.
No. I had a run.
Myself and Maeve Binchy had a run in with a business owner in Gorey on the bank holiday Sunday night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were really admirable. I wasn't there, Mark, but I heard what you said. And you said, you don't be pushing her. She's a woman. You can't push her.
Yeah.
And you got very, very, I don't know. It sounded very childlike in your expression as a drunk man.
Yeah, I am very childish in my expressions as a drunk man, as you informed me of what I was saying to the mob. I have no idea. Thoughts come in and it's just like, I tried to tie two things together and aggravate it all. Like, I danced to this song because I like Dave Redmond or something. Like, Dave Redmond plays this song, so this is my favourite song. Or what is it?
I know, you started giving out about Alan Corker, but this is Mob. Like, Mob is in the ether. Like, Mob doesn't congregate in Gorey anymore, but we grew up with Mob as a friend, but now Mob just lives in a field in Ballycanoe, and he comes out on special occasions and goes into 64 where it's crowded with loads of people.
Yeah.
And so Mob, we see Mob. I haven't seen Mob in years. Within 3 minutes, Alan Corcoran only plays songs that sound like he's singing them because Alan Corcoran's all this. And you just have to go with it. And you're like, I wish I had a notebook to write down this.
I had no idea what I was talking about. By the way, Alan Corcoran, that's all in jest, and we do want to have you on the podcast.
Yeah.
Even though he called us the two Johnnies. We're more like Jedward than the two Johnnies. We are not the two Johnnies.
But he just wants everything, the best to be Wexford.
Yeah. The best is Wexford.
Yeah. You don't need it.
Yeah.
You don't need to be... You don't even need to recognise the two Johnnies. That's a new wave of thinking from Mark Alpin there, yes. Can I give one little thing? We're coming into a beautiful passage of time because the strawberry van on the Quarter Road near the Marfield has reappeared.
Woo!
It came out of nowhere. It's painted white again, and it will be there with its tacky Wexford flags in a few weeks' time, and we will rejoice and be glad.
We are back, baby. I have a letter Michael gave me.
Oh yes,
at the start of the podcast. So can I read this on the podcast, or do you want me to?
You can gloss over any bits that get too mushy.
Okay. Mark, I'd like to take the time to pen 3 things I admire about you. I really admire your selfless loyalty. It is a quality that drew me to you back in TY. Loyalty, you're not big on spaces, Michael, is a precious quality. Built upon is one word there. Right, hold on. Built upon understanding, respect, and genuine enthusiasm. Here lies a prism of expanding the idea that we share a sort of anam cara bond. It's something I sense and feel. This stumps me as I try to distill our friendship into 3 qualities. So let me dance with the choice of this opening quality, selfless loyalty. Loyalty surprised me as an opening choice, but it makes sense when I reflect on the nature of anam cara, soul friend. Its depth knows no end. It cannot be contained. Loyalty comes from a sense in the ether that the quality of connection is imperishable and lifelong. Our friendship has been a blessing as we both understand that the other always does their best. In truth, that never, every time it dispels doubt about this or that, we know that we both present in an authentic fashion. So now that I've captured our bond, let me zone in on you as a person. You have a cracking dry humor. It transforms. You crack a smile and laugh where it is least suspected. Your sense of humor makes the world that little bit lighter. You're deeply intelligent, and the beautiful thing is that you don't know the depth of that intelligence. Finally, Mark, I deeply admire your worldview. You have a rich, meaningful approach to life where discipline is valued and you put faith in yourself and your output. You let it all hang out, Mark. For this reason, Mark, will you let it all hang out for me as my best man? Will you stand by me on the biggest day of my life in February 2024? Will you keep me on the straight and narrow? Will you keep me out of the salad bar when I'm needed in Glencullen Church? Will you make sure that Fab doesn't steal lotto tickets during the wedding ceremony? Will you keep my box of fags within close range at all times? Will you folate Wim Hof breathing? Facilitate Wim Hof breathing when necessary. Will you make sure that my stag allows for 7 hours of sleep, a spell in the sauna, and a cheeky scone? Will you make sure that Mickey Shield does not arrange an Irish Republican gun salute at the wedding? I had much fun composing these requests. I have one serious last request. As best man, other groomsmen are Evan, Garode, Owen, and Connor. I ask that you lead these in a cruise captain. This crew as captain. It's a big groom's party, and I want everyone to be involved. I would be so happy for you to include each groomsman as their opinion, input, and outlook. This is very important to me, and I do hope you honour this request. Thank you for taking the time to read and listen and express this letter. It's gone everywhere. And so, Mark, I put the question to you again. Will you do me the honour of serving me as best man? Michael Scribble. Thank you very much, Michael. That was beautiful. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
So you're going to read all this on the stage, Gory Little Theatre.
I was like, yeah, well, a bit of that, yes, yeah.
I'm glad you didn't ask me to read it on stage. That's very good. Yeah. So we're talking about the stag. I don't know, we can cut this out of the podcast if you want.
Go for it.
Like dates, so it's February 2024.
Yeah. Don't know when to go.
To go. So like Christmas, we'll probably have a live show.
Yeah.
Probably. August, would there be championship?
I'd say Halloween might
Halloween,
work.
yeah.
Because the teachers will be off. There'll be less hurling.
Yeah. Halloween, football could be over.
Football, yes, yeah. Yeah, football matters.
The groomsmen, that doesn't matter to the groomsmen at all.
Oh, yeah, the footballers live in a hurling world.
Yeah, that's it. It's a hurler's world. We just live in it. Yeah, look, we'll have plenty of time to talk about that anyway.
Yes. But the start, yes, I want a big shindig.
There we have plans already. We already have a few ideas have been tossed about.
Very good.
Yeah.
We were speaking of ideas, which I'm sure are related. We went to My Dad Wrote a Porno there.
Yes,
on Friday.
Yes.
Very interesting. But there was this one, and he was saying about breasts, and he was doing these sort of expressions. So.
Yeah. Yes. What did you make of it? If someone know that wouldn't have listened to the podcast.
Yeah, I found it. It was okay. It was a lot of references
lost on us. Characters.
Yeah.
No, I knew the main character because I'd listened to a couple of episodes of the first series, so I knew who Belinda was, the main character.
Yeah. But the timing of it all was like it was okay. It was like going to the cinema and going to a film. In that I didn't expect anything. Like other people really enjoyed it, but for me it was a fine film. But I go back to it because the timing of everything was just too structured. Yeah.
Like you could tell, you say this now and you say this now, and when this line comes, because your one was kind of interjecting a bit early on some things as well. But yeah, no, it was good. It was good. It was good to see. Go on.
No, yeah, it was just good to see how a podcast production, because a lot of it has been just a natural flowing of the expertise of Shane and Connor and to actually sit back and realise, oh, here are 3 people that are getting thousands of euro, and they have used the same principles that we do. They've had a funny VT at the start to get people laughing. They've used the PowerPoint to stir conversation.
Yeah.
And so it's all just one big surprise. So, yes. Were you going to... did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed it. I think, right, so... I'm going to throw out a big claim here.
Go for it.
I think your man writes the pornos himself.
I have to agree.
Yeah. I think maybe at the start his father did write an erotic novel, because there's many books now apparently.
Right.
And he's wrote loads of them. But I think the first one maybe was written by his father, as for the purpose of trying to be an erotic novel.
Yeah.
And that was the whole premise of it. He tried to write this novel, it was bad, and we review it. But now at the end of it, like, just some of the way it's written and the way that chapter finishes, like, there's no way that was ever written for the purpose of anything other than comedy.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. There's nobody would get off on anything that was in that, like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or you would ever imagine anyone would, like.
It was all English humour as well. It was all very much...
pish posh. Yes, so. Well, how ravenous. Ravenous. Let's go and take another country. Fuck them, the proud. What are you doing after lunch? I'm taking Zambia. Would you like anything? Would you like anyone while I'm over there? I'll get a few, bring them back.
And since we're riffing here on the colonial mindset, can we bring us out to Tim Dillon's revelation about people getting reparations after they were being brought from England to Australia?
So, apparently this is a thing, the lost generation in Australia. Australia. So the stolen generations were the children of Australian Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander descents who were removed from their families by the Australian federal and state government agencies and church missions under acts of their respective parliaments. So there's a lost generation, and I think there's a stolen generation. So what did they do? They were removed from their families. I wonder, where did they put the Aboriginals? Because what I heard was that they moved English children over to Australia, took them away from their families and brought them over and gave them to white families to increase the white population in Australia.
Wow.
But this so there was 2 we mentioned. There was the lost generation. There's a stolen generation. White British children to Australia. Between 1945 and 1968, over 3,000 British children were told they were orphans and sent to Australia on a promise of warmth, fresh air, abundant food and opportunity. Instead, they arrived to deprived institutions where neglect and abuse were the norm.
My gosh.
Yeah. So it's 130,000 were shipped abroad. Britain's child migrant programme. Why 130,000 children were shipped abroad? The National Child Abuse Inquiry is hearing testimony from people shipped as children to Australia. Some children sent to former colonies between 1920s and 1970s faced servitude, hard labour and abuse. More than 130,000 children were sent to a better life in former colonies, mainly Australia and Canada, from the 1920s to the 1970s under the Child Migrant Programme. The children aged between 3 and 14 were almost inevitably from deprived backgrounds and had already suffered some form of social or charitable and were already in some form of social or charitable care. It was believed they would lead happier lives. Charities such as Bernardo's and the Fairbridge Society, the Anglican and Catholic churches and the local authorities helped out with the organisation of the immigration. Once there, the children were often told that they were orphans to better facilitate their fresh start. The parents, many of them single mothers forced to give up their child for adoption because of poverty or social stigma, believed this was giving them the best chance in life. Often did not have details of where their offspring were being sent to. So it's basically like the mother and baby homes. They were just sending them off to Australia. So here's... We are sorry they were allowed to be sent away at the time when they were the most vulnerable. We are sorry that instead of caring for them, this country turned its back. He announced a $6 million fund to reunite families that have been torn apart. So that was Gordon Brown, the then Prime Minister, in his official apology. Yeah. So there was a lot of shit went on in Australia.
That's interesting.
In 1956, 3 British officials visited Australia on a fact-finding mission to inspect 26 institutions which took child migrants and delivered back a fairly critical report identifying issues such as lack of expertise in childcare, the concerns of the remote rural locations. The report, however, made no mention of sexual or physical abuse, and the child migration continued. That was in 1956, that report, so they knew what was going on and they continued it. Yeah, so that happened. That was the English going over, and then the lost generation were the Aboriginals, indigenous people who were taken away from their families.
Yeah. Isn't it interesting how rightly healing is taking place now, and healing is taking the form of compensation for those people. But isn't it just, I find, giving money is one way of healing it, but like there's just so many other ways of just trying to forgive and let go of trauma in the past. Because the trauma was there. Trauma, that sounds awful, separation and the abuse when they got there.
Yeah, so that's we're ending on a nice note there. I have to go play a match.
Yeah. Let's see if there will be any trauma inflicted against the Sarsfields today.
Let's see.
A big namaste.
Namaste. See you next week.